Yo, long days of work. Long days of work. Yo, Aunt, what's up, man? How's it going down there down there where you at? How's the market looking? Shout out to you, man. Thank you for leaving the comment, man. Appreciate that. Hopefully, man, things have been going good. And you got your CDL. Hey, ain't the I'm gonna show you something. If I still got this picture on here. Damn, it's on that phone. If you are willing to travel. Let me see if I got this email. Not too bad. I was working with Patterson, but I work for Texas Casing. Man, the biggest thing is, bro, as long as you staying busy, they're compensating you good, and you're at peace, you're at content with it, bro. That's all. That's all that matters. Uh, Chasing money, chasing any and every other thing that there is, you're just gonna end up losing time, bro. 200 Visions TV shift change. Yep. And I've been off for been off for a while now. That's homeboy, old dude with the black truck and the red truck. I didn't think he was still gonna be up here. Man, it's like I never left, man. It really is. It's like I never left. He's still here. A bunch of the guys I worked with before, they're still here. And it's kind of, North Dakota's kind of my home away from home, man. I've got more connections for opportunities up here than I do back home. Shout out to Anthony. Shout out to 200 Visions TV. Shout out to Chasen. What's up? Shout out to Ghost Town Bullies, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. We up here in the Bakken Oilfield, bro. I didn't foresee me coming back, but I wasn't doing anything at the time, and I was like, let me. I got a message and it said, "Hey, you ready to come to work?" I was like, I ain't doing nothing right now, so like, hey, okay. So there are plenty of opportunities. A lot of it is it's the connections that you make. It isn't who you're calling on the phone up here and in the oil field. You have to actually like meet, see people, and they see your work. Like they see who you are, and they see your consistency. Man, consistency is a big one. It really, really is. They see that you show up on time, ready to work, and available. It is something else to be up here and just see. It's everywhere, but everybody's got money up here. Everybody, including them people that got the 4-wheeler razor things. Man, there's so many of them things around here, and Worcester ain't that big. But I'm looking at them right now, just zooming around on a little. You can't really see them, but off over there in the distance. Damn, just over there riding around having a fun time, and everybody out here got it from the the Walmart people. And these people that's been at Walmart for years. They tell you they ain't going nowhere. They stayed at Walmart. And it's always gonna be the long distance marathon that wins, man. It really is. To the comments. Sugar program. Need to go hard water up there. How is school for you? And if I didn't say it before, shout out to Ghost Town Bullet. Shout out to you too, man. I need to go hard water up there. So there's plenty of opportunities. Even if you wanted to do something different, I'm making this video to answer some comments because I haven't been through comments in a while. Orientation was in Texas and work is in North Dakota. Brooke Thomas 2245 commented, greed humbles all, on the video where I was talking about how you can lose it all in investing in the market because the market will go up and down. So this video may kind of be all over the place because I'm answering comments and looking at stuff that people are putting in the live chat. There we go. But Ison Van 1050 commented, when are you going back to Williston? I'm in Williston right now. Will there be another oil boom? There, or is Williston over? I can't answer the question of is Williston over, because the oil and gas industry has phases. So you're gonna drill a new well. There's a whole part of the industry that does the pre-well drilling stuff. I don't know what the machine is called. From the people who dig that little pilot hole and put the I don't remember what that thing is called, but they put that in the ground and then they're coming in after that with the drilling and stuff. Man, I wish I could tell you guys that more accurately, but I don't remember it. But there's a whole process and almost industry of itself of what goes on before they start drilling. You got the entire drilling process, and that's per well or per pad. Then you've got whether the well is reservoir or rock, hydraulically fractured rock. Those are two different things, and they call for two different answers. Then you have the process of bringing the well to flowing back. This is before the pump jacks get there. And then once the well is on the process of flowing back, they've got the well to the point where the well is being separated from the oil, the gas, and some of the solids like sand and stuff will still come back. It has to go somewhere. And then once the well kind of stabilizes out, pump jacks are going to be brought in and they'll start the up and down when they get to that point. But the well will just be flowing back off of its own pressure in the ground. And then you have your downstream, which is called production. So you have the completion side, you have the production side. The production side tend to be more laid back because you're just tending to what's going on, making sure that it keeps going on, and nothing crazy has happened like the well killing itself, or trying to think what else. I used to know a lot more of this stuff than what I know, but when you get involved in one part of the oil and gas industry, you tend to focus on what you're doing, where you're at, and how it fits in. So is Williston over? No, because this place is here to stay. Not only that, this is the only place up here. Your next Walmart is 2 hours in east and 2 hours south. And what? Oh yeah, you did tell me that. did tell me that. I totally forgot. Doggone it. Uh, Williston is here to stay. Your next Walmart going into Montana is wherever it's at. It's a long way away from here. So this place just has to grow some more industry and stop the greed on housing and land. Once they finish doing that, this place could be something great. But the land greed up here. Shout out to the show Land Man. I've got to finish watching that. #1 show. There's some hokey stuff in that show, but for the most part, there's a lot of good quality stuff in that show. And I've met some people just like the people in that show. And I'm extremely happy that I got outside of trucking and I've done other stuff in the oil and gas industry, because it opened my eyes to seeing like a lot of different stuff and learning a lot of different stuff. If you come out here, don't just do the same thing. You can do the same thing where you're at. Do something different. Try something different. Learn something new. Challenge yourself. Shout out to Dirty Bro. Shout out to Henry Bob Swellikers, longtime subscriber and leaves comments. Shout out to Henry Bob Swellikers. Shout out to Get Her Done. I don't remember what the last part of his YouTube channel name is, but the 200 visions, get that money, JP. Appreciate that. The Wild Bison, yes, that's in one of the short videos that I made. The Wild Bison. Yes, I'm still liking the oil. It is what it is, man. I've gotten to the. You asked the question, still liking the oil field. Yeah. Anthony on it. What I was talking about earlier called the surface driller. Like, it's a little thing on the back of a truck. It picks up, it drops down to the ground, it turns, picks out dirt and dumps it out. It does that, picks it out, dumps it out. And they sit there and they keep doing that and they keep doing that. And that's how they first get the hole going. But still liking the oil field. Yeah, I like the people I work with. I like what we do. I did some heavy haul yesterday, bringing a stand back from Colorado. And that was an experience in itself. Hauling an RGN for the first time. Never hauled an RGN. Didn't know how it works. Had to just figure it out. That was it. There's nobody out there or calling people. I'm sending them pictures, and my phone service sucked. Couldn't get nobody. And what they're telling me, I'm having to wait. And the picture they got was from an hour ago. So I go in the shop, get to looking on YouTube, trying to figure out how to make this thing go in there, because I'm looking at it and I wish I had a picture. I do not have a picture of it on this phone. I would show y'all, because I was able to hook up to it. So hooked into the fifth wheel, because with a RGN, this part right here comes off. The gooseneck part comes off. So you can detach from that and move it and drive your equipment off of it. When it goes back on there, it has this. This part, man, I need the pictures to show you. I need the pictures to show you, because I can see it, but I can't think of how it was positioned on there. But it was positioned on there almost like a lock. So it went on there like this. And when it locked, it went all the way down where you see my thumb at right here. And that's how it stayed in there. But when I hooked up to it, like this is the ball, this thing sat like this, just like that. And I was able to move it But I kept looking at it, thinking to myself, man, this thing is not on there. This thing is not on there. I could not figure out for the life of me what the heck was going on. And I'm calling people, I'm messaging people. And finally, after about 2 hours, because I had everything else done. It was, the straps were done. I'd done all my checks, everything. Just in my head, I knew that that didn't look right. And I kept thinking, well, if that pin's not, if it's not sitting all the way on that pin, going down the road, and you can see where it's just resting on that weight, because it's the pictures are on that phone, and I can't show you while doing a live, but I know how to do RGN stuff now, because that's pretty much it. Got your pony motor, make sure you got hydraulic fluid, make sure you got diesel, and make sure it's in the right notch for the height that you need it to be at, depending on what you're hauling, how much it weighs. Also, make sure your airbags in the back go up, and make sure they go up enough to clear your mud flaps off the ground. But the main thing is make sure you have the ground clearance. It's got 4 to 5 notches, and each one of those notches give you 3 to 4 inches of height. So depending on what you got on there or how heavy it is, you know, that's gonna determine. Don't mess with the fifth wheel stand unless you're unhooking from it. Then you put your fifth wheel stand down so that it rests on the back frame of your trailer, and then you pull it out from underneath it. And now that I've done that, I'm kind of like, hey, okay, I could definitely see myself getting one of those. That'll be a fun thing to do. Back to what we were talking about, but that was definitely an experience. Bakken brothers took down all their vids, and now guys are saying 250 a day. I did record a lot of Bakken brothers vids. Let's talk. You tell me, bro. You tell me. Shout out to Jquan82, Big Red Pump Truck. Hey, got my CDL through them, cementing. S&O. Oh, shout out to my supervisors, Jimmy and Brandon. What else did he say? Man, I miss them. That's one thing about the oil field I can say. Me and a coworker were talking about this. There's a brotherhood in the oil field, and it's a little bit like the military. The difference with the military is a complete circle. So the people you meet and the people you build friendships and connections with, for the most part, it's a solid circle, because everybody has went through the exact same thing, whether they went left or they went right. They went through the military, they finished boot camp, and they have that unites them. And that's whether it's Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, National Guard, Reserve, all of that. It makes a bond. I heard what is his name? What is old boy name on YouTube? Be on Truck Community. Benching and fishing. I heard APOC said it creates a brotherhood like nothing else, man. But let's get back to the comments, because I'm missing time here. Shout out to DPG Live. Shout out to Michael Salter. Shout out to Jay Charlin. Shout out to SoCal Trucker. And SoCal Trucker, when it comes to that video or pictures, I had like a copy pasted list from another video, and I just copied pasted and put it on there. And I couldn't think who else, and I don't know who all was in that list when I made that video that had everything in it. But shout out to T Hill X2, Rob 54, Rob H 5409, Henry Boss, I can say you, Charles Stevens, shout out to you. Saw your YouTube channel on the old broke down camper. Man, I couldn't believe that camper is still out there in West Texas, bro. And I think also, like, I got like one of those concrete barriers that's got JPTV3000 on it at Atlas, which is south of where that Monahan's place is. And that's Half Blood Nation. Shout out to you. Shout out to Charles Stevenson, YT1WS. Shout out to SSJ1 Ethan 32. Y'all gotta start making some names, man. I stayed at the Econo Lodge. It used to be the Missouri Inns and Suites. For those of you that were up here during that time, that y'all remember what that area was like, if you know, you know. And Hostile 6940 says, middle of nowhere. Yep, when you out there hauling sand in West Texas, you're in the middle of nowhere. You know, man, I thought I was leaving the Oilfield for good. I really did. And here I am. Shout out to Tanker Yanker, Don Pabro, Don Pobry. Shout out to Daryl Pickering. Shout out to Eddie Tang. This is one of my routine jobs. Descriptions during working with Summer J Frac Team. When it comes to that fluid pump, I got to make more videos about the fluid pump related stuff and the twin pump, but it's difficult to do it because when you start working on it, you really have to have a camera person and then just start the video and then cut it later, or it'll be video pause, video pause, video pause, video pause, just nonstop, because it's a whole process to rebuilding a fluid in, especially if you got to do every hole. You got to take everything out, and I'm talking about seats, valves, and do the plungers. Like, if you had to do all that, one person, I could probably knock all that out in one day, because I've done that pretty close to it in one day. But two people can get it knocked out in a half a day, depending on how focused they are on what they're doing. Yeah, it's not bad. We'll take this case. So I'm still nice. He what? JP, what the guy in the black pickup truck told you when you was at the same plant on the last video? Was that it? He said nobody's finding that out. Nobody. Shout out to SoCal Trucker, man. What the heck, SoCal? Thank you, bro. SoCal Trucker. Now I'm gonna have to send you a super chat. Man, I haven't been watching videos like I used to. I've been working and then looking on some stuff from time to time, and then I'll be gone. He said that's his son. I'm trying to remember if he worked here when I was here before. Anyway, SoCal, thank you for the super chat, man. I will most definitely use that super chat to send that super chat, divide that super chat up and send that super chat to other people. That way I'm spreading around the prosperity of YouTube. Yeah, it's still rolling. Shout out to SoCal Trucker. If you guys don't know who SoCal Trucker is, I'll show you. SoCal Trucker. That's SoCal Trucker. It may be backwards, but SoCal Trucker. So you guys can check him out on YouTube. He's got a lot of videos, content. SoCal be dropping a lot of game too. One thing about the YouTube and trucking stuff is we all get into making videos, and then unless you're making playlists that break stuff down between, like, this information here, this information here, it get lost within hundreds of videos. Man, how many videos SoCal got? Man, you got 711 videos, bro. But shout out to you, man. That's a lot of content. This another one of my coworkers. But SoCal Trucker, how to fix the race without government. The scam of life. How does a driver get in this situation? Just a little tour and trucking. Guys, if you're gonna get your own truck and go into trucking, you need to have all your stuff. You need to have everything that you need. To a coworker of mine, me and him, we were talking about something, and then something else came to my mind. I was like, oh yeah. I just totally forgot about it. I hadn't even thought about it. I'm like, you can utilize that. But SoCal Trucker, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. I lost my place. Where was it? But as far as he said, man, I'm gonna tell you guys, because I'm not going to talk about some stuff. And I came back here and I found out some stuff up here. So there may be some people that you don't see on YouTube anymore. It's because it's the best way I can explain it. When you're working in the oil and gas industry, you'll be working, and you'll work to put yourself in a position to where you're inside the matrix. This is the best example I can give you. The guy who betrayed the people in the Matrix, that guy, there's a scene where he's sitting at the table and he wants to get plugged back into the Matrix. And he's sitting there with Agent Smith, and I think it was another Agent Smith guy. And he's telling him he wants a high valuable position. He wants to be somebody important. And he says he wants to have all his memory wiped of all of this stuff that's going on and that's going to happen. He don't want to remember none of it. And then he eats a piece of the steak, and he says ignorance is bliss. In the oil and gas industry, when you get plugged into an opportunity, everything you can't go tell anybody. You can't tell everybody, because some stuff, it's just meant for you, and you come across it then. You come across it at that moment. And some stuff you gotta just keep to yourself. So I'm blessed, and me and a coworker up here, we talked about some stuff that he's seen, and he's saying, hey, this right here is going on. Like, oh, okay, Cool, man. Let me see how the rest of this year is gonna work out, and we'll go from there. But as far as what old dude, shout out to you who shall remain unnamed, unknown and unnamed. Thank you. Because before I came back here, I wasn't going to work probably ever again. If it was, I was going to do something locally close to the house. But there's something about this North Dakota and this oil field. The oil field period, but North Dakota just has its own unique, I don't know how to put it, bro. Its own unique culture, its own unique speed, its own unique pace. It's not like Midland. Midland is just, man, if you worked in Midland, Midland, Odessa, Texas, you know what I'm talking about. But let's get back to the comments. Shout out to Red Top Trucker. I said shout out to Chase and Andrew Jackson. Shout out to Ant. I said shout out to SoCal Trucker. Thank you for the super chat. That ain't from Oilfield. It's from maintenance. That ain't the pulley. But maintenance when it comes to equipment, even your own equipment, and maintenance. North Dakota, bro. There's no place like this anywhere else. Midland, Texas said, hey, man, you know what? Yeah, Ghost Town Bullets, buy land. I'm going to just tell y'all, bro, Pennsylvania's that new little hidden gem, that PA, Ohio. It's that little hidden gem ain't nobody been talking about. It really is. I thought about that. Me and a homeboy, Nick, up there right now. He been in Eastern Ohio, Western Pennsylvania for I'm thinking about 6 months now, at least 3 or 4 months. He been up there working up there hauling water, and he said they thinking about subleasing their home or something like that and moving up there. So, hey, because I thought about going up there, but I like this cheap land out there by the border of Penn and Ohio. Yeah, bro, I looked at that too. Land is reasonably priced. I mean, very reasonably priced, and it's nice stuff too, like nice house, an acre of land or more. And I'm like, as it takes more to get more or to get less, people are going to start looking at where can their dollar go the furthest. I talked to my coworkers up here, but up here you meet people from a different market that come from the West. Like the people that are coming over from Washington State, Idaho, Oregon, Western Montana. They're looking at a different price range to go live back over there. Like, I talked to a coworker today. The value of his house when they bought it was in 150, 200. He said that value for that is not now is a million. So whatever that is, it's coming eastward. And the thing would be to position yourself in a place that's picturesque, that looks good, and others would want to have a piece of it, and then just getting a piece of it. You build it, they will come. Just make sure it's somewhere that has all of the intangibles, and they don't live near Walmart. They don't live near. I think he said that their Walmart is an hour and a half, 2 hours away from there. So that's the middle of nowhere. But he did show me what his backyard view is. And it literally looks like a painting in his backyard with like a valley, hill, valley, mountains. I think Pat showed me something like that too. And I've seen stuff like that, going west. So there's plenty of opportunities, man. But let's get back to the comments. In case I miss any of you guys' comments, shout out to y'all. Shout out to Dirty Broke. View all comments. Shout out to Dreadhead Trucker. Shout out to D Harm. I don't know how you pronounce that. Shout out to Eddie Tama 3665. Hold on a minute. C Roberts 2726. I'd be down to join if I knew how to start or got some advice from others, but I don't know anyone in that field. Say if one that is. But say if one lives out of state of work site. What? If one lives out of state of work site, should they think about moving there, or is it a rotational job where you can still enjoy life where you live? It's a rotation if you work at a place that has a rotation. I would I would say if you live out of state, especially if you live out of state with outside of that 500 miles, you know, you want some place that either pays you more or provides housing or pays you more and you go out and get your own. If they provide housing and you're still making 120, 130, 140 a year, hey, what are we talking about here? So keep that in mind. Yeah, rotation. I like rotation stuff. There's nothing back at home that I could really do that's rotation. That's that's my biggest problem. You just want something to do to keep busy. But that 5 days a week, weekend off, no. And as far as fitting in with the locals, as long as you don't start no problems around here, you're good. You ain't got nothing to worry about. He said, but if you go start some problems around here, because it's a small area, you gonna get known, and then they gonna find out who you are. They're gonna find out where you work at, and who is this person over here. Especially if the police get called on you about something, man. Money management is everything when it comes to world finance. Facts. Other than that, guys, I ain't really got much to talk about today. I'm just system off to save battery. I'm just here taking some time to say what's up to y'all and give a big shout out to y'all. And I got some videos I gotta put together and put out. but I hadn't made a live in a long time, and I hadn't made a live since I've been here. So I'm looking to do some more interviews, but people aren't around the normal watering holes, and I don't go to bars like that. Even the employment office is not like it was. This place is it's settled into what it is, like the personality of Williams County, McKenzie County, Montreal or Montrose, but that 4 county block of what the Bakken is, 4 5, let's just say 6 county block, but it's definitely four county blocks of Williston, Newtown, Killdeer, and Watford City. It also goes into Montana, and I talked to a coworker today who passed by, and me and him were talking about something, and he put me on to something, and it kind of had me thinking. I hadn't thought about that, but I drove through this place that me and him talked about, and I said, you know what? He may have something. And I only drove through that place once, and on the way back, but I hadn't been out that way since then. And he says, man, it's really grown. I'm like, what? But I know that place is a good little ways before you get to where the mountains start at. But guys, thank y'all for tuning in. Cheap land out there by the border of Penn and Ohio. Also, somebody put me on to something, and I'm gonna look into it because I hadn't really thought about this. That's also some middle of nowhere too. But man, there's people that live out in the country in Mississippi, but it is not like out here. I drove from North Dakota to Colorado twice. Both times that drive out there. Like when you get to some of these places, you be like, man, these people been living out here how long? In the middle of where? Like you get south of Belfield, you get to places like Marmouth and Bowman and Buffalo, Camp Rock, Akalaka, Powderville. You are in the middle of nowhere. Like them places ain't even ambulance. I don't think ambulance even come out there. They may have a fire department. They may not. Coldwood, Akalaka, middle of nowhere, bro. And I looked at the size of North Dakota, and I looked at the size of Mississippi. You could fit Mississippi in North Dakota, and it not touch none of the edges. You can fit Mississippi and Alabama and Montana, and it not touch none of the edges. That's how big Montana is. And then when you get up to the Canadian peninsulas, you can fit Texas inside some of them. But anyway, thank y'all for tuning in and checking out the content. Appreciate that. Shout out to SoCal Trucker. Shout out to Chasing Andrew Jackson. Shout out to Ghost Time Bullets. Shout out to Arnett, Anthony Arnett 6922, and shout out to the 200 Visions. This was kind of an impromptu live. I didn't have a plan. I just wanted to make a live because I hadn't made one and give shout outs to people. Because when it comes to people that I'm subscribed to, it'll either be Truck City TV, or it'll say JP subscribe, which I use to subscribe to pretty much everybody. And the overflow goes to Truck City TV. But There you go. And that's why I couldn't keep this on my main YouTube channel. It's too many people to subscribe to that I have met over the years. And some of y'all make content regularly all the time. And like this stuff just goes on and on and on. On and on and on. On and on and on. That's like my doggone contacts in my phone. It just goes on and on and on. On and on and on. But anyway. Let's take this truck back to the yard. And but thank y'all for tuning in. Shout out to SoCal for the super chat, and the time to reply to this super chat has expired. Didn't know super chats expired. But thank you, thank you, thank y'all very much. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for checking out. I've got more Oilfield content. He said how to operate the equipment is a tricky one. That takes time. That takes time and thought out of, okay, we do this, 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 this. These are the steps. And then try not to skip any steps once you start. Okay, this is how you turn the equipment on. This is the battery box. It should be off unless it's in use. Once it's no longer in use, turn it off. Same thing when it comes to connecting anything. Once you're done using it, disconnect it, wrap it up. If it's a hose that need to be cleaned out, flush it out with diesel. If it's a chemical, and keep rocking. Same thing when you're pumping chemicals. When you're pumping chemicals, once you're finished pumping and you know that you're not going to be using that chemical anymore, or the job is done, disconnect, run that chemical back into its own tote, and then once you get finished with that, run some diesel through it, run the diesel into a bucket. Once you get the chem lines getting clean, take that bucket, dump it off in your tub, or dump it off in your trash tank if they have a trash tank, and you're ready to, you're done with that as far as the chemicals and stuff go. Make sure you mark which water tank is what. If flowback doesn't do it, make sure you know which one is your brine. Make sure you know which one is your fresh water, which one is your recirc water, and you'll usually know, because if they switch you over the wrong one and you start pumping brine, that brine's not going to mix well with those chemicals in that FR. So your pressure is going to change. Same thing if you go from production to straight fresh. They're going to notice a change. Also, now that I've come back to the oil field, some of the equipment is different, and it operates different. And there's different little, stuff you got to do with some equipment than others. For example, the stuff I'm used to, plug the box in, controls come up, it's going to be in neutral automatically. Some of them have brakes that lock or apply once you start it. Some of them, the brakes or nothing will apply until it gets to a certain temperature, like 160 for the yellow frac pumps. 160, I think it's 160 degrees or somewhere around like that, but it has to be good and warm, and then the rest of the hydraulics are ready to do what they're supposed to do. And it'll even kick in the brake by itself if it's in park. Otherwise, that drive shaft starts spinning. And when that drive shaft starts spinning, like let's say you went ahead and hooked up the water line, hose line that's hooked up to your pump, and you started filling your tubs, forgot that your tub valve to it is open, and it's open over there where there's nowhere for the water to go. But then if you turn it on and it starts rolling, okay, it's going to start pumping water somewhere, whether that iron is hooked up or not. He said it's going to start pumping some water out somewhere, especially if it's got any kind of, if it has any kind of hydrostatic pressure from your low side pushing into it. But yeah, it's time for me to get up out of here, bro. It's been a long day, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate that. Thank you, and thank you. Try to get some more interviews, man. But people be working, bro. That's why when y'all look on YouTube, you really don't see that much stuff about Oilfield in North Dakota, man. Everybody be working, man. And there was a time when people socialized up here differently. Now everybody got their own little spot, their own little place, and everybody be on the inside. So thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate that. JPTV3000, the same YouTube channel as always. Thank y'all very much, and I'll holler at y'all later. God bless y'all. Be safe. Peace. Oh yeah, shout out to shout out to SoCal Trucker. So for all you guys that are looking for some more trucking content, shout out to SoCal Trucker. He gave the super chat today. So SoCal Trucker gets the YouTube mention, whatever y'all call that. Wish I was younger when it comes to the YouTube stuff. Shout out to Don Paulbray. Wait a minute. Man, Adrian shout out time. Where is that at? Adrian, man, I hadn't made a video in a while, bro. But shout out to Adrian, shout out time, man. God bless you and God bless all of y'all over there in the Philippines. Adrian, shout out time. Adrian, shout out. Y'all can check him out. He's got a lot of good content over there in the Philippines. I noticed you start making videos, man. You know, hopefully everything is all good. And the people that you've met and you've networked with, that's one thing I can say about the Philippines is definitely like traveling back in time to before things got to the way they are now. Definitely worth it. Absolutely worth it. JPTV3000. I'll let y'all later. Peace.